welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Right? It's Tuesday already? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Welcome to our show. We call it Stock Market Update. The actual name is Closing Beat, where we go over the stock market, cover everything that went on for the day, and of course, answer your questions. Try to teach you something new. Got kind of an interesting watch list today that we'll go over. But first, we got to dive into the markets and everything good going on there. Hey, every week we do a email for customers. It goes out on Saturdays called Notes from Jazz. If you're one of our customers or a research member, this week's was pretty good. I write them every week. I don't toot my own horn, but this one was really good. And starting next week or after next week, we're going to have the archive section in our portal so that you can actually go back and look. So if you join, and you're like, join like a month from now, you'll be able to see everything, kind of see where we're coming from there. Also, our Guess the Dow game is back. You could take your shot. Where do you think the Dow is going to close? Starting next week, right? You're guessing for where you think the Dow is going to close Friday. Go to jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow, and you can check it out there. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning for, doing the deal there. And now that they've done their job, we can focus on the debate, right? Tonight, we got a big debate tonight. It doesn't matter to me where you land politically and all that good stuff, but it should be an interesting one. Wall Street is looking for trade policy. They're looking for, of course, anything that might hurt them, which I don't think you're going to hear that tonight. And they're also looking for, so they got trade policy being the main thing there. Anything that has to do with any new stimulus, where that maybe get some clues on that. I doubt that'll be in there, but we're looking for things like that. And any major policy around healthcare decisions and things like that to come from Biden, just give some ideas there. So that'll be tonight. If you're watching the debate, really, I'm just looking for any way that they're planning on helping you with your dough. And so I'll report back to you tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. The rest of it, let them have fun. Do whatever they're going to do. Debate season, all good there. Let's take a look at the stock market here today. You got a slight decline on the day. Not too bad. I'll go over to the charts here real quick. You got a slight decline on the S&P, just kind of choppy. What you don't like to see is that it got stuck here at the 50-day moving average there. We're down about 4.5% for the month of September. We were down over 7%, so that's not so bad. But the issue here is, like I said on Friday, you've got this rally that you want to see momentum. You just want to see it keep going with no problem. As we start to rally up, with declining volume, that's a problem. We don't like to see that. Technical traders will lose interest. They'll start taking profits faster than they would have expected. You also have short traders that will start to believe that this is an opportunity. You don't want that if you're a bull. You want that if you're a bear there. Best 3 months coming up here. This is it. We're ready to start October, right? Almost. Best 3 months historically of any 3-month stretch comes October, November, December, no matter how you measure it. You can take any other month. You can do any sort of 3-month time period there, and it doesn't beat the next 3 months. The median gain 7.86%. We'll cover this a little bit later. We're also covered it in the research site there if you want to check it out. Research site today, things about, we talked about the markets there. In October, we talked about some stocks. We gave you a full stock list, goods, bads, all that good stuff. We'll cover a little bit of that here in just a moment. Tech stocks were kind of a drag here today. It wasn't all that bad, though. Just generally, it sort of felt like a sleepy day. You got Apple down just a little bit, Microsoft, all the names we always talk about there. I want to point out a couple others. Hasbro, hinting at a breakout here. I know this is like the last stock you would think would break out, but it's teasing you. I mean, it's giving you a shot there. Maybe Christmas is going to be good this year. So Hasbro, good day today, up 4% and hinting at maybe a little bit of a breakout. You got Micron, I believe it's still up a little bit after hours here, up 2%. You got going on with that one. It's a strong stock in a strong industry right now, and then with the earnings after hours, I believe they did okay there. So you might check that out. And then Aptiv. There you go. APTV is the ticker symbol, hinting at these new highs as well. It did hit new highs today. I just thought that was an interesting one there, kind of breaking out of a little bit of a range there with volume a little bit better than expected. So I'll point those out. Moving on over to the NASDAQ. There we go. Back over 30% year to date, even with, we've been there, right? We're right at the 30% year to date. Semiconductors get a lot of the credit. Well, they got to get some of the credit today. AMD up 3% on the day. Looking good there. Micron, we talked about that. After hours, they beat on earnings, beat on revenue and everything. And guidance was better than expected. Our LRCX, a great little play off the 200-day moving average we've been walking through, and CRUS, Cirrus Logic, good day for that one as well. All in the semiconductor space, and if you want to look at them as a whole, SMH is one of the ETFs you can look at. Good day for them as well. If we go over to the Dow, there you go. It's trying to work its way back to flat, just a touch higher, and you would have flat year-to-date performance, so dragging a little bit there. Today, you had Nike as your biggest contributor. Nice day, 1.6% gain on the day, but there were too many other stocks that were dragging in the Dow. You had Travelers Insurance, you got Goldman Sachs, actually didn't finish too bad. Microsoft, other names in the Dow. all just held back some of the positive moves that you saw elsewhere there. So that is what you have as far as the major indices go. For our FinTips videos, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, we've got some great videos this week. 4 reasons to invest, to start investing, and then a couple reasons you might not want to. Year-end tax strategies, especially with the election coming up, some things you might want to consider there. And on Friday, we've got a video, what happens if you owe the IRS a lot of money? I'm not going to fault you or anything, but what do you do? What are your options there? Wine and Wealth, this week, we're going to talk about how the active trader handles an active and volatile market regarding their trading plan, adjustments and things that they'll make, because a lot of our customers let us manage their retirement accounts, but then they go trade and they're doing their own thing. Well, I happen to have a background in that, so we do like to teach and help along that line as well. So I realize that the markets are more volatile right now. I've got some tips and things that can help you out through that. So we'll do that on Thursday. Wine and Wealth for customers. We do every class every Thursday. And research site, I mentioned that just a minute ago. In the research site, you've got this October sort of overview here. I posted that here this morning. Not only the markets, but we also talked about the best performing stocks, worst performing stocks, all their performance and everything. I'm going to give you a list here in just a little bit, something you can work with, to tease you. It's what I do. I teach you a little bit, I sell a little bit, right? You guys figured it out. You know what's going on there. Let's go to the sector breakdown here for the day and take a look. Communication services, the only thing that was positive. What you're going to notice if you're looking on your screen to the right-hand side, that nothing really gained a lot or lost a lot. One thing that was interesting, yesterday we talked about this, that energy, yesterday it was the best performer. We talked about how once of every 3 days, it has been the worst performer. Wouldn't you know it, it's the worst performer again today. It has been a couple days since then. Over the last 4 years, the energy sector has been the worst performing sector on a day-to-day basis once every 4 days. So today it was at the bottom of the list. It was just so funny. Yesterday it was at the top of the list. We gave you the stats on that one. Today it's at the bottom of the list. Utilities also a little bit weaker on the day. Not too bad. Did finish about flat. 37 of the last 200 days. Today it was one of the better performing areas there because it didn't fall. Other than that, you look through the list there. I'm not going to go through a whole lot of them today because you don't have a lot to talk about. You got healthcare basically flat on the day. Communication services was a slight gain, just a tiny gain. Nothing exciting that I can work with there. Basic materials, also just kind of a flat day. There's no technical pattern. There's nothing interesting we can go on. This may be getting into the election season chop, right? The pre-election chop. You got a 0.3% loss in tech stocks today. Nothing to get excited about, nothing to worry about. Staples down a little bit. It was just boring, right? Sector-wise, we got a boring move there. So I'll move on to our new highs and lows for the day, because at least that's a little more interesting. 7 new highs on the day, no new lows. You got Linares, the only one that pulled back and finished the day red. That's that breakout we're talking about there. It's not quite ready, right? The volume's not there. There's no real excitement today. It was just sort of an off day. Yesterday was a good day for the sector, but still it did just technically make new highs. Danaher, that's the breakout we talked about yesterday. It's also continuing. Not great. I mean, it's okay. It's moving along. You're happy if you own it, but nothing to get all excited about just yet. Hopefully that comes soon. PKI. Also one we talked about yesterday, that one did continue its excitement today, the breakout, but also with higher volume. So you like to see that. Good to see there. You got Smith Corp also moving to new highs. It was okay. I mean, there wasn't a lot to look at on the list there. Not too bad. And Target, just a consistent gainer there, pays, about 1.75% as far as the dividend yield there. Very consistent stock, and it's been performing well. That's really it. I don't really have anything else to say. You guys are going to be shocked. Those of you that haven't watched the show a whole lot, when something actually happens on a day where it's really busy, you'll be shocked at all the stuff we have to cover, so don't get too lazy. We'll keep this thing going. Hey, let's talk about the watch list today. I'll give you a little bit more on this one today. We'll kind of dive into this. I know you guys like the watch list section, whatever. So what we're doing here, we're looking for the best performing stocks in October historically. We want to just see, right? If we own these stocks, are we expecting them to do well? And we want to kind of know the data and everything behind it. If we do not own these stocks, do we want to buy them? I'm not telling you to, but this is what we're looking at through the month of October. We're looking back the last 10 years, and if you go on the research site, you have the entire list. Not only did I share the entire list with you, but I also shared every single year so that you could see all the different years and how those particular stocks perform. We also shared the worst performing stocks, so those at the bottom end of the list, hopefully you don't own any of those, or just hopefully they do a little bit better. Give you a little hint, biotech and healthcare were the worst performers for October, whole list of stocks there. What we're looking for is consistency here. So we're looking for stocks that maybe they didn't just have one stellar October and that boosted their average. We're looking for consistency, the stocks that perform consistent over the last 10 years here, at least to start this conversation. All right, we'll start with the first one. There are actually 6 names that have been positive every single October for the last 10 years. We've got Cozen up here first. This one's in the oil space, but it's down only 2% on the year. It has the largest median return, 12.95%. Is the median return for October. So it's done the best there. It has the... okay, got it right. Anyways, so down a little bit here, little extent of the short term is kind of like snapping back like a rubber band, setting itself up for October, but that is the best one. 100% of the time it is positive in October. If we look at SkyWest here, down 51% year to date. It's a little over 8% in the last month there, just because it came off the highs there. So that's another one on the list, positive 100% of the time. Goldman Sachs, believe it or not, median gain 5.21%, positive 100% of the times in October. So we included that one on the list just to throw a financial in there, so it wasn't all focused in one category. CMS, back to the energy sector there, 3.84% median gain, positive 100% of the time. But the key with this one is if you're one of our research members or one of our customers, look through the last 10 years and you're going to see that the returns are smaller. So it's not one of the big time performers like your SkyWest and things like that, Goldman Sachs. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more consistent, but still has the stats to back it up. American Electric, this is in the utility sector as well. 3.5% yield if you're looking at a stock like this. Could this be the month where you get yield in addition to a little bit of growth? If you look at the data there, you got a median gain of 3.33% just in the month of October and positive 100% of the time. So going on a 10-year win streak there. Sticking with utilities here, you got Southern Co. It's been flat, not done a whole lot there. This is the last stock, by the way, that's positive 100% of the time on the list. Also a utility. In 2013 and 2016, it gained less than 1%. Every other year, it gained more than that. So this one has some quiet months in there. But other than that, it has gained more than 1% in those months. And lastly, I didn't throw it in there. Lam Research was a great bounce off the 200-day. 90% of the time, it is positive. 10.34% median gain. It's already up just over 7% off the 200-day moving average. You don't like to see that. You kind of like the ones that have already fallen, right? So they're a little extended. You give a reason for people to come buy it. Any of the algorithms that know the October stats and things are going to give it a little extra support. Lam Research sort of got started a little bit ahead of the stats there, but we'll see. You never know. Got a whole month of October coming up, and that is at least a handful of the names. There are a ton of names on our list that we put on the research site. I hope you check it out. If you can't be a customer of Jazz, of course, if you're working with an advisor and they're not working as hard as we are, I hope you'll consider transferring to Jazz Wealth. But if you can't be a customer of Jazz, you just want to learn, get a little research and be a part of that action there, $13 a month. You could join us on the research site, no strings attached, and come learn with us if you like to learn. Hope you enjoyed. All right, stocks in the news, and then I'll take your questions, or at least attempt to take your questions and see what I could do there. I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it. Big Lots sees their store sales a lot stronger than expected. The stock was a little bit higher today. It did finish lower. Let's go over to the chart there. Let's take a look at that. Here, can I just go like this? Yeah, there we go. So finished a little bit lower, kind of volatile. I didn't really like that there, but that was the news for the day. Papa John's, there you go. Papa John's up 3% on the day. They said the company has 6 straight months of sales, double-digit increases in sales. So we've been looking at Domino's Pizza here lately, kind of wonder why that's been doing so well, right? They don't have the drama that Papa John's has, but stock was higher today because of that. Store sales doing well. Snowflake, there you go. So you got Snowflake. Between Warren Buffett's company and Altimeter Capital, you've got two investment companies that own 30% of the shares outstanding for Snowflake there. Stock was higher by 3.5% on that news today. Tesla, it finished negative. It was higher on the day. Tesla got a deal with Walmart for 130 Tesla semi-trucks. wasn't 130 before. I want to say it was like 65 or 60 or something that Walmart in Canada ordered. So it sounds like they doubled their order at least. It may have been less than that. I don't remember. But so good news for Tesla if you're looking at that. And speaking of Walmart, Walmart's working with the Tata Group to do they're calling it the Super App. They're going to put in $25 billion to work together on that. Maybe, try to win over the Indians a little bit, because that's a tough market. I don't know how much you know about that, but you don't just show up as a big company in India and get to start doing work. So they're trying. Walmart's attempt at that again. You got Party City, by the way. It's a tough business for them lately. Party City, you got a couple large shareholders that are selling shares. 13.2 million shares they are filing to sell. That's about 3.5 days. Well, I guess it could be about 1.5 to 2 solid full days of active trading there. So you've got some pressure headed your way there for Party City. What else do we have? Air Products, $1.34. Dividends, State Street, 52 cents. Republic Services, the trash company, 43 cents. And Raymond James, 37 cents. Coming up there if you happen to own any of those. We do happen to own a few of those, so dividends coming our way. And I'll take a chance to try to answer your questions and see what I could do if I have covered. Yeah, I've covered everything. By the way, Fed members, they're everywhere these days. There is a record number of Fed members speaking every day. I mean, every day I look at a list and I'm like, geez, these guys are everywhere. So I'm not sure what's going on there just yet, but they are out there in droves. More speeches than we've seen in a long time. Can we have a market sell-off 30% after the election in December, end of the year? Could you? Sure. I mean, a 30% decline in a market given some sort of extreme outcome, we know is not out of the question. Markets can fall 30% really quick. Mm-hmm. Do I think that happens? No, I don't think that happens, but could it happen? Certainly. Yep. What do we have? How did it jump out of the way there? Molina Healthcare up 5% today. Yeah, sure was. Comment on Uber stock. You think it's undervalued at the current price? Well, then you don't need my comment there. So Uber, well, here, look, there you go. So Uber basically not doing anything, right? You hope that this is a sort of the start of a new uptrend, but you got nothing to go on just yet, right? So for months it's been sideways. How do you justify starting any sizable position? Yeah, maybe a nibble, something like that, right? But what you're really looking for is to see that this bottom was the bottom, and now you've got a series of higher lows. See them stair-step in there? If that's the case, you slowly draw more and more momentum. I think that's really what you're looking for there from a technical perspective. If you think the stock is undervalued, that's impressive, right, for a company that doesn't make any money. $35 a share is undervalued? So then I would say, what do you think it should be valued at, considering no money? And they're thinking about buying somebody. I didn't see the notes there. They're thinking about buying another company. We'll see. Markets closed near the lows of the day, but it was a narrow range day. It's a big difference there. So from a technical perspective, if a market is, let's say it's higher and gradually doing better and better all day, kind of like yesterday, and it closes at the highs, that might be something there, right? Not necessarily the day after or a couple days, but you see what you got. If you have a market that sells off and closes near the end of the day on a wide range day, that's a little bit different story than a market that had a small range day and just happened to finish near the lows. I think so. Oh boy, Arturo knows. I love it. You're looking at the positive performing October stocks. Is it also useful to look at positive sector ETFs? Yes, it absolutely is. And when I made the list, I had all of them in there. The leveraged ETFs, of course, I had regular and I had sector ETFs. And I deleted the whole entire list. It did not save, and so I started from scratch to make the whole thing, and I didn't include them. Yes, it would absolutely work with the ETFs. We're going to do a sector breakdown of October coming up, so I'll just do a separate post for the research site. But I was so mad because I did it, and I was like, this is awesome. I was so excited about the post, and then it didn't save after all that. So I had to do it all over again. Sorry. It just wasn't, I just couldn't go back and do it again that time. I love it. Oh boy. All right. Politics talk. Well, hey, listen, if you're watching the debate tonight, of course, we're more interested in looking for things that may affect your money. I'll be watching for things like that. I'll report on things like that. But all the other drama stuff or things like that, you got to do what's best for you, what you believe in, and obviously vote for that. But we'll see. Hopefully it's kind of filled with a lot of substance tonight. I hope so. Hopefully not a lot of back and forth or just these little jabs and stuff. With the limited debates that we have this year, I think it's important that they kind of get right down to it. So hopefully that's the case. And hopefully, it's all good for us. We find out that they both want to lower taxes and they both want to, have, tax-free other savings and get rid of capital gains. And yeah, hopefully that's the case. And then we have to choose who to vote for. Hey, in the meantime, enjoy tonight. Take it easy and don't let yourself get stressed out by all the stuff you see on TV. Just enjoy it. Have a good time with it. I'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again. I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And like, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, thanks.